What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another Cryptid Saturdays. Today we are going over the cryptids of California. And yeah, man, California's got some pretty interesting ones. I haven't read the article yet. I always like to rather these be more of a surprise than anything. I'm kind of expecting Bigfoots because there's always Bigfoots, so let's see. Yeah, so we're going to dive into this. Before we do though, guys, please remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that way you never miss another any videos from me, as well as drop a comment down below with what you guys think, any cryptids you guys might want me to cover on Cryptid Saturdays in the future. And yeah, without all that being said though, let's go ahead and get into this. It's the Cryptids of California. Alright guys, like I always say at the beginning of these, I don't own the rights to these articles. I'm just using it to kind of pass along information. This particular one belongs to backpackverse.com, which is pretty cool actually. Kind of goes along with the cryptid theme. So yeah, go over there, show them some love, and if you guys don't want to do that, just stick around and we'll go through this together. These are 10 most mysterious cryptids of California. And I'm contemplating putting like a Bigfoot tally up somewhere, maybe on my Instagram, on just how many U.S. states have Bigfoot. Because like, so far, every one of these I've read thus far has had at least a Bigfoot in it. So, also guys, real quick before we do this, if you guys want, please, if you guys take these descriptions, because there's probably not going to be good pictures, so take the descriptions of these creatures that we're reading about. And if you guys are artists, please draw them and send them to me on Instagram, and I'll post them on my Instagram, and give you guys the credit for it and everything. So yeah, let's go ahead and read some of these. The term cryptid refers to an animal or plant that has not been acknowledged by the scientific community, but whose existence is suggested by reports or circumstantial evidence. Updated 2/9/2020, an exceptionally sharp shape and inexplicably shaped animal track, an odd noise in the woods, or a disquieting shape barely glimpsed through the underbrush. Or perhaps the frantic words of a camper scared out of his wits by what he swears he saw while backpacking alone. Sightings of cryptids are common in wilderness areas such as the parts of California, but conclusive proof is vanishingly rare. By their very nature, cryptids are not documented by clear photography or scientific evidence. Like I always like to say, if your picture wasn't blurry and out of focus, it's not Bigfoot. Much of the information we have about cryptids, especially in California, dates back to old stories and folktales. Gold rush miners, lumberjacks, missionaries, and native peoples all have their legends. Some of them have very noticeable common threads, elements that ring true even today. And a wise old man once said, "After all, I believe that legends and myths are largely made of truth and indeed present aspects of it that can be only received in this mode. And long ago, certain truths and modes of this kind were discovered and must always reappear." J.R.R. Tolkien, the letters of J.R.R. Tolkien. That is actually a really fun thing. Number 10. Lone Pine Mountain Devil. I think we've got our first Bigfoot for California, guys. Man, I wish there were pictures. I try and go for articles with pictures, but all of these were taken down, I guess, due to copyright and stuff. Okay. Most commonly spotted near the small town whose name it bears, the Lone Pine Mountain Devil is described as a furry, bat-like creature. It is reportedly slightly larger than a human with sharp claws and teeth. Unfortunately, it seems that humans have been encroaching on its territory for over 150 years now. Settlers in the Great Gold Rush of 1849 first coined the name after finding a large number of coyote and bobcat carcasses strewn throughout the desert. In 1878, a missionary named Father Justus Martinez wrote of a pack of the creatures wiping out a wagon train. Sightings continue to this day as recently as 2010. So, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what that could be. I feel like that story might have been over embellished from like coyotes or wolves, maybe. There's some pretty big bats in California, maybe. I don't know. This one could also just be a fairy tale. I mean, I don't know if it says sightings as recently as 2010, but like there's a big gap between 1878 and 2010. Like, I'm sorry, so I don't know. Anyway, though, ghost deer. The ghost deer is a true mystery. Okay. It appears to be a large bull elk with huge antlers and has occasionally been spotted by hunters and backpackers in the woods near Mount Eddy, California. The strange thing is, elk are not native to Mount Edley. In fact, it's extremely rare to see any there. The ghost deer gets its name from its uncanny ability to evade gunshots and to disappear without a trace. Many hunters have reported shooting the paranormal creature, sure their aim was true, only for the deer to simply keep running. It seems unlikely that there is a scientific explanation for a deer immune to bullets. Is it a paranormal entity? Is it just very lucky? Is it difficult to say? I think that one is a combination of mule deer, bucks, big ones, elk, people that can't shoot straight, or people that can't track down what they actually shot. I mean, I don't know though. Like, that's my opinion on that. I mean, it could be something. It could be a ghost deer. I'm not going to say that it can't be a ghost deer, but if I had to guess, I would say like my logical explanation would say is saying that that's just an excuse for people that can't shoot. Like that like ghost deer in California must be like short for bad hunter. Cadiborosaurus. This is a dinosaur in California. Cadiborosaurus. At least that's what it sounds like. Loch Ness Monster has an American cousin. The Cadiborosaurus, thought to live in the waters of the Pacific Northwest, has been sighted as far south as San Francisco. By compiling data from multiple sightings, cryptozoologists have determined that the creature is from 5 to 15 meters long. It can swim up to 40 knots at surface depth with a serpentine body and a very long neck. In other words, it's a sea serpent. Okay, that was obvious. Caddy, as it has been nicknamed, is most commonly seen in the colder months of October through April. It tends to keep away from boats and ships and does not seem to be dangerous. I think caddy is an oarfish, personally. I don't know if oarfish are in that part of that part of the world, but it sounds like it could be an oarfish. Just from like the length and the description, they look like big sea serpents. So yeah, it could be. Or there's a giant ancient reptile swimming around the coast of California. I mean, it could even be a shark, for all I know. Maybe there's like an unidentified species of shark or a shark that we know, and everybody's just misidentifying it. But I mean, or there is a giant sea serpent there, which is way cooler to believe that there could be. But I don't know. You guys look at Tahoe Tessie. Another water-dwelling cryptid, Tahoe Tessie is thought to live in Lake Tahoe and is absolutely enormous. Said to be over 80 feet long and covered in jet black scales, the creature could be very frightening indeed. Stories don't generally have Tessie being very mean to her human neighbors, though. She's well loved by the locals and has become a mascot of sorts for the town. Tessie is on the logo of many Tahoe local businesses and has even been a cartoon character. Sightings are quite common, and she is still seen multiple times every year. Theories that Tessie is a dinosaur have been discredited by cryptozoological experts. Today, most people agree Tessie is a gigantic sturgeon or possibly a freshwater eel. That I like. Even the crypto people say no, it's not a dinosaur, but it could be a big sturgeon. That I love. Sturgeons get 12 feet long, and they are positively minion looking sometimes. Like, they look ancient. They're covered in bones and spikes, and yeah. So I kind of like that explanation. The Fresno Alien. Real quick though, so far at least, we're on number 6 out of 10 and no Bigfoot so far. We got aliens, but no Bigfoot. The Fresno Alien, also called the Nightcrawler, is only seen infrequently. It has a short humanoid creature about 4 feet tall and appears to have no arms. Some say it is in fact wearing a robe or other clothing, which might point towards it not being a cryptid at all, but an extraterrestrial or paranormal entity. Both sightings of the nightcrawler were on video, including security camera footage of the creature walking through a yard. The owner of the house was woke up by the frantic barking of his dogs. He went outside to investigate and found nothing. In the morning, he reviewed the recorded footage, and the legend of the Fresno Alien was born. I got nothing for aliens, guys. I mean, maybe it could have been, maybe it couldn't be, maybe it was just some homeless guy in his yard, maybe it was like some kind of like maybe a bear or something, or a dog, something that's not normally walking on two legs that has to walk on two legs. I don't know. Um, I don't get me wrong, I really hope it's an alien though, because how awesome is it that, of course, it would be California where the aliens land. Like, that just makes perfect sense to me. Number 5, Cactus Cat. If this isn't just a cat made out of a cactus, I'm going to be upset. A cowboy legend, but perhaps with a grain of truth, the cactus cat is said to resemble a common house cat with a few differences. It's a little bigger than the typical cat, standing about 2 feet tall at the shoulder. It survives off cactus sap, slicing the plants open with its sharp claws, and it's covered in spikes like a porcupine. The tales go into amusing detail about the cactus cat, speaking of cats, becoming drunk off fermented cactus juice, staggering around in an alcoholic stupor. The creature has not been spotted in years, but it's unclear if it was ever real in the first place. Just watch yourself if you come across some stray cats in the desert, maybe wear gloves. I mean, it was a porcupine. It has to be a porcupine. I think porcupines might even eat cactuses like that. I mean, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, though. Like, I mean, it's got to be a porcupine. I think that one was a porcupine. It made the cryptid list, so good job. And if it is a cat covered in porcupine quills that sucks cactus juice, that'll be awesome. That's one I would really like a drawing of, though. If somebody makes it, that actually does it for me. I would love a drawing of that. Hayapam Hog Bear. Okay. Described in the classic cryptozoological text, Fearsome Creatures of the Lumber Woods, the Hayapam Hog Bear is thought to reside in Northern California. The bear takes its name from the Native American word for its home and for its preferred diet. The Hayapam Hog Bear just loves pork. According to lumberjack tales, the beast would creep around pig farms, keeping out of sight most of the year. Around Christmas time, when the pigs are at their fattest, the bear would strike. Finding prey so plentiful and easy, the creature took one bite from each hog, enraging the pigs' farms to no end. A surveyor captured a bear cub in 1800 and actually presented it to the National Zoo, claiming it was a member of this new species. The story was discredited, and it appears that the cub was an ordinary black bear. But it was probably a bear the whole time, just eating pigs. Like, once animals find things like that, like it immediately will just keep coming back because it's easy to get food. So yeah, I think it was just a bear. At least that's what makes the most sense to me. I don't know why like anything else would try and attack pigs like that. I mean, actually, yeah, it could have been a mountain lion too. So maybe some of it was misidentification. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that one's just a regular bear. The Dark Watchers of California. In the remote, unspoiled region of Big Sur, strange beings stand guard. Over the years, many people have reported seeing impossibly tall humanoid shapes standing along the ridges and peaks of the mountains. They have been spoken of by Chumash Indians and have been the subject of much poetry, art, and writing. Jens Steenbeck actually wrote about the Dark Watchers in one of his later works, the short story Flight. In all the reports, they simply stand and stare off into the distance. If approached, they silently disappear. No one has ever gotten close to one of these creatures to describe them in much more detail. I mean, I don't know. That one could be interesting. Could be some ghost, maybe. I personally think it could also just be like shadows, maybe playing tricks on you, or mirages. But I don't know. I'm leaning more towards maybe the ghost or shadow person. Number 2, the Central American wind tosser. First mentioned in a lumberjack tale recounted in Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods, the Central American wind tosser has been known to journey as far north as California. The cryptid is thought to live in packs and has a triangular body with a short tail. The most notable feature of the beast is its 10 legs. Limbs sprout off the creature's body at every angle, allowing it to quickly run through any terrain. So you're basically just looking at a massive arms and like a massive legs just chasing you. That is terrifying. Like, this is the scariest one out of this article. Like, could you imagine that? Just how freaked out you would be? It's dark. Imagine this scene. It's dark, and you look over. It's like dusk, so you can just make out things clearly, but the shadows are starting to creep in. And you look over your shoulder, and there's just a triangle-shaped mass of legs just chasing after you. No, that's just wrong. It can even use its sharp claws to walk upside down or on walls. The wind tosser is said to be very aggressive and best avoided. According to the lumberjacks, the best way to take down a wind tosser is by trapping it in a pipe or chimney. The beast will try to walk in every direction at once and tear itself apart. I don't even get how that works. I mean, at least there's a way to kill it, but like, it's like so all the legs have claws? So it's a triangle-shaped clawed mass of legs that can climb walls and ceilings, and essentially you can only kill it by trapping it in a chimney, where it tries to, I guess, go both directions and just pulls itself to pieces. I don't even know, like, who would come up with something like that. I don't even know what that can be. Maybe like a tale about big spiders, possibly, but like, what is that even? Who would come up with that? Okay, well, either way, number one, Bigfoot, because of course it is. Here it even says it. Of course, no article on cryptid is complete without mention of the big guy himself. Bigfoot, also called the Sasquatch, has been seen hundreds of times over the years. Most recently, the creature seems to make its home near Roseville, California. Bigfoot hunters are adapting to the times and using drones to track the beast. It seems like Bigfoot's days of mystery and unconfirmed sightings may be coming to an end. Many would say that Bigfoot is what kicked off the modern study of cryptozoology, and it would be wonderful to finally have the years of searching pay off. Conclusion. As a large state with a great deal of history and wilderness, it is only natural that cryptids would have a place in the lore of California. Some of these creatures are undoubtedly pure fabrication, but equally sure is that some are real. Keep an eye out in your wilderness adventure, and who knows, you just might make a new friend, or at least come back with a story to tell.
Alright guys, well that was 10 cryptids from California, one of which was very scary. I can't wait to see if anybody actually does do the drawings and sends them in. It would really be appreciated if you guys did. I would get a real kick out of it. Probably the scary triangle leg thing is the creepiest. Bigfoot once again makes an appearance. And yeah, but hey, I'd like to hear from you guys. Drop a comment down below with what you guys thought. And if you made it this far, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. And yeah, guys, I will see y'all next Saturday on Cryptid Saturdays.